As we grow older, it's important to stop using phrases like, "back in my day," as they can alienate others. Subtle mistakes can arise in our interactions, and many of us treasure the moments spent with family, friends, and even new acquaintances. These connections give life its meaning, but certain habits, often subtle and unintentional, might push others away. Sometimes, our words and actions create misunderstandings that make others feel uncomfortable or disconnected. The good news is that a few simple adjustments can strengthen your relationships and help you become the warm, approachable person everyone loves to be around. Let's uncover the subtle mistakes that might be holding you back and explore how to fix them with ease and grace. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Stop overusing. Back in my day. As we age, it's natural to look back fondly on the past. The days when the world felt simpler, technology wasn't overwhelming, and life seemed gentler. Sharing these memories can feel like a way to connect, but phrases like, "back in my day," or "things were better when we didn't have all these gadgets," can create distance from younger people. These words may seem dismissive of their experiences. Imagine how it might feel for a grandchild, colleague, or neighbor to hear their perspectives compared unfavorably to the past. What we intend as lighthearted reflections can sometimes feel like critiques of their choices, their world, and even their identities. Every generation faces its own challenges and creates its own version of better days. By focusing too much on comparisons, we risk missing opportunities to understand and appreciate their realities. And isn't that what relationships are about? Instead of drawing a line between then and now, try building a bridge. Share your stories in a way that invites curiosity rather than closing the door to connection. Instead of saying, "In my time, we didn't have smartphones," you might say, "It's incredible what these smartphones can do. I'd love to know what features you use the most." This approach doesn't diminish your memories. It enriches them by weaving them into the present. By showing curiosity, you open the door to learning and sharing together. Perhaps as you listen, you'll find that their experiences aren't so different after all. The beauty of connection lies in meeting others where they are, understanding, learning, and sharing joy across generations. By letting go of comparisons and embracing their world with genuine interest, you become someone they feel safe sharing with, and in return, they'll be more likely to seek out your wisdom, stories, and presence. The goal isn't to let go of the past but to honor it, using it as a foundation for deeper relationships today. Remember, it's not about whether things were better or worse back then, it's about making the people you care about feel seen, valued, and respected now. That's how we keep the best parts of our memories alive while staying rooted in the joy of today. 2. Avoid the resting bothered face. Sometimes it's not what we say, but what our faces silently communicate that shapes how others feel about us. Have you ever noticed someone glance at you and then quickly look away or sensed a shift in energy when you walked into a room? It's easy to assume it's their problem, not yours, but what if your natural resting expression, the one you wear when you're relaxed, might be unintentionally sending the wrong message? As we grow older, we often carry a lifetime of emotions and experiences in our expressions. Over the years, our faces naturally settle into patterns that reflect the moments we've lived, whether joyful or stressful. Sometimes, however, those patterns don't accurately represent how we feel in the moment. A neutral face with slightly furrowed brows, downturned lips, or a vacant gaze can make us look worried, disapproving, or distant, even if we feel perfectly content. This phenomenon, often called the resting bothered face, can create a subtle but real barrier in relationships. The truth is, people unconsciously interpret our facial expressions as reflections of our feelings toward them. If your resting face appears stern or unapproachable, others may assume you're upset, disinterested, or even judgmental. While it's not your intention, this can lead to misunderstandings, hesitations, and missed opportunities for connection. The good news is that small, mindful adjustments can bridge this gap and ensure that your face reflects the warmth and openness you feel inside. It's not about faking a smile or forcing cheerfulness. It's about gently aligning your outward expression with your inner state. Start by becoming aware of your natural resting face. Take a moment to look in the mirror or ask someone you trust for honest feedback. Does your face look relaxed, or does it carry tension? Are the corners of your mouth slightly downturned, creating an unintended frown? A small lift at the corners of your mouth, a hint of a smile, can make a world of difference. Relaxing your eyebrows and softening your gaze can also transform how others perceive you. Instead of appearing preoccupied or stern, you'll look calm and engaged. These changes aren't just for others, they're for you too. Research has shown that our facial expressions influence our emotions. When we lift our faces into a more open, welcoming posture, we often feel lighter and more positive ourselves. It's a cycle. Your expression invites warmth from others, and their responses reinforce your own sense of ease and connection. Imagine the impact this can have on your relationships. When your family sees a face that welcomes them, rather than one that seems distracted or distant, they're more likely to open up and share their lives with you. Friends will feel more comfortable approaching you, and even strangers might be drawn to your presence. These small shifts in expression can create an atmosphere where people feel valued, understood, and safe. Life is too precious to let unintentional facial cues create distance in our connections. By embracing the power of small, thoughtful adjustments, you can ensure that your face reflects the kindness and wisdom that already live within you. So take a moment to lift your expression, not just for others, but for yourself. It's a simple yet profound way to say to the world, I'm here and I care. 3. Don't block connection with negative body language. Sometimes it's not the words we say, but how we carry ourselves that speaks the loudest. Without realizing it, our body language can send signals that either invite connection or create distance. Even when we have the best intentions, small unintentional actions, like crossing our arms, avoiding eye contact, or leaning away, can make others feel unwelcome or unimportant. Body language is a universal language that people read instinctively. Imagine walking into a room to meet someone new. If they're sitting with their arms crossed, their body angled slightly away from you, and their gaze elsewhere, how would you feel? Probably hesitant, unsure if they even want to speak with you. Now imagine the reverse. They greet you with an open posture, turn their body toward you, and hold a warm, steady gaze. Instantly, you feel noticed, respected, and valued. This is the subtle power of body language. As we grow older, it's easy to fall into certain habits of posture and movement that may unintentionally come across as closed off. A lifetime of experiences, stress, or even physical discomfort can lead us to slouch, fold our arms, or look down more often than we realize. While these postures might feel natural or comfortable, they can also send unintended messages. Crossing your arms can appear defensive or uninterested. Looking away during a conversation might seem dismissive. Leaning back in your chair can create the impression of detachment or boredom. The good news is that these patterns are easy to adjust, and small changes can have a profound impact on how others perceive you and how you feel about yourself. Start by paying attention to your posture. Stand or sit tall with your shoulders relaxed but open. This not only makes you look more approachable, but it also helps you feel more confident. Your body and mind are deeply connected, and when you adopt an open, welcoming posture, it can shift your mood and energy as well. Another powerful tool is intentional eye contact. In our increasingly distracted world, looking someone in the eye when they're speaking is one of the simplest yet most meaningful ways to show respect and engagement. It says, I'm here with you. You matter to me. However, balance is key. Too much eye contact can feel intense, while too little can make you seem disinterested. Aim for a gentle, steady gaze, breaking away occasionally to avoid discomfort. Then there's the magic of leaning in. This small gesture carries a big message. When someone is speaking, leaning slightly forward shows you're fully engaged and interested in what they're saying. It signals that their words hold weight, and that you're not just passively listening, but actively valuing their thoughts. This simple action can transform a conversation, making the other person feel heard and understood in a way that words alone can't achieve. It's also worth noting what your hands are doing. Fidgeting or keeping your hands hidden can make you seem nervous or distracted. Instead, use your hands to emphasize your words. Gentle, open gestures, like resting your hands on a table or lightly gesturing as you speak, convey honesty and openness. These subtle cues reassure the person you're speaking with, creating a sense of trust and ease. Changing your body language isn't about performing or pretending, it's about aligning your outward actions with your true intentions. If you want to connect with others, and you wouldn't be reading this if you didn't, then let your body reflect that desire. Show openness through your posture, attentiveness through your gaze, and respect through your gestures. Relationships are built on more than words. They're nurtured in moments when someone feels seen, heard, and appreciated, moments often created by the language of your body. So the next time you sit down with a friend, greet a family member, or even meet a stranger, let your body say what your heart feels. I'm here, I care, and I want to connect with you. It's a small effort, but its rewards are immeasurable. 4. Stop ending sentences like questions. There's a subtle yet powerful element of communication that often goes unnoticed: the way our voices rise or fall at the end of a sentence. It's a small detail but carries significant weight in shaping how others perceive us. When we unintentionally end statements with an upward inflection, making them sound like questions, we may send signals of uncertainty or hesitation, even when we feel confident inside. This habit can undermine our words, leaving others unsure of our conviction and making it harder to establish trust and respect. Imagine this scenario: you're sharing an idea, offering advice, or introducing yourself. You say, "I think this is a good idea," or, "My name is your name." Though you didn't mean it as a question, the upward tone at the end plants doubt in the listener's mind. Do they believe what they're saying? Should I believe it? Even when your intention is clear, the inflection can erode your credibility, creating an unnecessary barrier in your communication. This is especially important as we grow older and have a wealth of wisdom and experience to share. Your life stories, advice, and insights hold tremendous value, but their impact depends on how they're delivered. If the tone of your voice suggests uncertainty, people may miss the confidence and authenticity behind your words. The solution isn't about speaking louder or dominating a conversation, it's about grounding your words with conviction. A downward inflection at the end of your sentences signals confidence and authority. It tells the listener, "I believe what I'm saying, and I want you to trust it too." For example, instead of saying, "I think that's a good idea," with a questioning tone, try saying, "I think that's a good idea." Notice how the downward inflection makes the statement feel more assured and final. Practicing this shift might feel unnatural at first, especially if the questioning tone has become a habit over the years. Start small. Pay attention to how you end sentences in casual conversations. If you catch yourself using an upward inflection, take a moment to pause and reframe the sentence with a steady, confident tone. Over time, this will become second nature, and your words will carry the weight they deserve. This subtle change not only impacts how others perceive you but also how you perceive yourself. When you speak with conviction, you reinforce your own confidence. It's a feedback loop: the more grounded your tone, the more assured you feel. The more assured you feel, the more naturally your voice conveys authority and trustworthiness. Consider how this might transform your interactions. Whether you're talking with family, friends, or even strangers, your tone can become a tool for connection and respect. When you speak with confidence, people listen more attentively, are more likely to value your input, trust your judgment, and remember what you've said. This isn't about being forceful or overbearing, it's about owning your voice and the wisdom it carries. Your experiences, insights, and stories have the power to inspire and guide others, but only if they're delivered with clarity and assurance. As you move forward, remember this: every sentence you speak is an opportunity to connect, influence, and leave a lasting impression. By grounding your words in conviction, you not only elevate your voice but also honor the incredible journey that brought you to where you are today. Speak with confidence, and let the world hear the strength and wisdom within you. 5. Stop overusing. How are you? How are you? Is one of the most common greetings we use, a polite ritual to open a conversation. Yet for many, it has become a placeholder, a routine phrase that lacks depth and true intention. When we ask this question without genuine curiosity or follow-up, it can feel hollow, almost mechanical. Worse, it often leads to equally shallow responses like, "I'm fine," or "Good, thanks," and the moment passes without any real connection. For those of us who value meaningful relationships, this habit is a missed opportunity. It's not that "How are you?" is inherently wrong, it's just overused, and it rarely sparks the kind of deeper exchanges that build bonds and understanding. The people we care about, our family, friends, and even acquaintances, deserve more than a fleeting question. They deserve to feel seen and heard. So how can we replace "How are you?" with something that resonates? Instead of asking a question that feels like an afterthought, try engaging with curiosity and specificity. Ask something that invites reflection and opens the door to more meaningful dialogue. For instance, instead of asking, "How are you?" consider questions like, "What's been the highlight of your week? Is there something exciting you're looking forward to?" Or, "What's something that made you smile recently?" These questions require the other person to pause and think, encouraging them to share something personal or positive. They communicate, "I'm genuinely interested in your life." This simple shift can transform the tone of your conversation. When you ask with intention, the responses often surprise you. A friend might share an unexpected joy, a family member might open up about a worry, or a stranger might tell you something that brightens your day. These exchanges remind us of the power of connection, a reminder that even the smallest questions, when asked thoughtfully, can lead to profound moments of understanding and care. 6. Avoid one-upping others. There's a natural urge many of us feel when we hear someone share a story or accomplishment, the desire to relate by sharing something similar from our own lives. It might come from a place of excitement or camaraderie. "I've been through that too!" But this can unintentionally overshadow the other person's moment. This is often referred to as one-upping, and while it might seem harmless, it can leave others feeling dismissed or unheard. For example, if a friend says, "I just finished my first 5K run," and you immediately respond with, "Oh, I used to run marathons all the time," your intention might be to connect, but the effect can feel like you're minimizing their achievement. Instead of celebrating their success, the focus shifts to you. Over time, these small moments can accumulate, creating distance in relationships and leaving others reluctant to share their joys or challenges. The key to avoiding this trap is to focus on the other person's experience before adding your own. Let their moment take center stage. Instead of responding with your own story, start by acknowledging theirs with genuine enthusiasm. For instance, you could say, "That's fantastic! How did it feel to cross the finish line?" Or, "You've been working so hard for this. Congratulations!" These responses validate their effort and show that you're truly present with them in the moment. If you do want to share your own experience, frame it as encouragement or support rather than competition. For instance, you might say, "That's so inspiring! I remember how proud I felt after my first race. You must feel amazing!" This way, your story becomes a way to uplift them rather than overshadow them. At its core, avoiding one-upping is about shifting your focus outward. It's about truly listening, celebrating others' achievements, and creating space for their voices to shine. When you practice this, you'll notice something remarkable. Not only do your relationships deepen, but people begin to open up to you in ways they never have before. They feel safe, valued, and seen, and isn't that the essence of connection? By letting go of the need to compete or compare, you create a culture of support and celebration in your relationships. You become the kind of person people seek out, not just for your stories, but for your presence, someone who listens, encourages, and uplifts. That's a legacy worth building. 7. Stop avoiding compliments and genuine praise. In a world where much communication feels rushed or transactional, offering a sincere compliment can feel like a breath of fresh air. Yet many of us hesitate to give praise, worried it might seem insincere or excessive. Sometimes we assume that others already know how we feel about them. Why say it out loud if it's obvious? But the truth is, most people don't know. A kind word spoken at the right time has the power to uplift and transform relationships. Compliments are more than polite gestures. They are acknowledgments of effort, kindness, or beauty that might otherwise go unnoticed. When you tell someone, "You always have the best ideas," or "I love the way you make everyone feel welcome," you are doing more than making their day brighter. You're strengthening the bond between you. Compliments don't need to be grand or over the top. In fact, the most meaningful ones are often simple and specific. Instead of saying, "You're great," try, "I noticed how much thought you put into planning dinner. It made the evening so special." These moments of recognition show others that you see them and value who they are, not just what they do. What's remarkable is how offering genuine praise also transforms the giver. It shifts your focus outward, encouraging you to see the good in others and express gratitude for it. Over time, this practice fosters deeper empathy and joy, enriching both your life and the lives of those around you. If you've been holding back on compliments, start small. Consider the people in your life and what you genuinely appreciate about them. Say it out loud, write it in a note, or share it with them in a quiet moment. You might be surprised by how far a simple "thank you" or "I'm so proud of you" can go in making someone feel valued and loved. 8. Stop dwelling on old grudges. Holding on to a grudge can feel like protecting yourself, a form of armor against being hurt again. But over time, grudges become heavy burdens, weighing down your heart and creating invisible walls between you and the people you care about. They rob you of joy, peace, and the chance to build stronger, more fulfilling relationships. When you hold a grudge, it's like reliving the pain of a past hurt over and over again. The anger or resentment may feel justified, but it often hurts you more than the person you're upset with, and in many cases, they may not even realize the depth of your feelings, leaving you alone in your frustration. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened or excusing someone's behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment so you can move forward. It's a gift you give yourself, not the person who hurt you. When you let go of a grudge, you make space for healing, understanding, and even reconciliation if it feels right. Start by reflecting on what's truly important to you. Are the grievances you're holding on to worth the weight they carry? Could letting go bring you peace or reopen the door to a relationship that once brought you joy? Consider writing a letter, not to send, but to express your feelings and release them. Sometimes, putting your thoughts into words can help you process and let go. In the end, forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about reclaiming your emotional freedom. It's about choosing love over bitterness, compassion over resentment, and in doing so, you set an example for those around you, showing that even in the face of pain, it's possible to choose peace. The relationships that matter most are worth fighting for, not through anger, but through understanding and grace. By releasing old grudges, you open yourself to the beauty of connection and the possibility of deeper, more meaningful bonds. It's never too late to let go, to forgive, and to find your way back to love. 9. Avoid over-explaining or interrupting. In the excitement of conversation, it's easy to get carried away sharing a story in vivid detail, offering extensive explanations, or jumping in before someone has finished their thought. These habits often come from a place of enthusiasm or a desire to connect, but they can unintentionally make others feel dismissed or unheard. Over-explaining or interrupting, no matter how well-meaning, shifts the focus away from the person you're speaking with and places it squarely on yourself. When we over-explain, it's often because we want to be understood completely, to ensure that our words convey exactly what we mean. However, piling on detail can overwhelm or exhaust the listener. They may begin to tune out, missing the core of your message entirely. Similarly, interrupting, whether to finish someone's sentence, correct them, or share your own thought, can leave the other person feeling devalued, as though their words weren't worth waiting for. The key to fostering meaningful conversations is restraint. Practice pausing before you speak, giving others the space to fully express themselves. Listen, not just to respond, but to understand. When you sense the urge to explain too much, ask yourself, Have I already made my point clear? Can I say less and still be understood? Often, simplicity and brevity are more powerful than long-winded explanations. When you feel the impulse to interrupt, remember that silence is not an absence of connection, but a space for it to grow. Letting someone finish their thought shows respect and signals that you value what they have to say. If you do have something important to add, wait for a natural pause and begin with, "I'd like to add to that," or "That's a great point. Here's something it reminds me of." Framing your contribution as a continuation rather than an interruption strengthens the flow of the conversation. Conversations are not competitions to be won, but opportunities to share, learn, and connect. By focusing on being present and intentional with your words, you create an atmosphere where others feel heard and valued, a gift that deepens relationships and builds trust. 10. Embrace humor wisely. Laughter has a magical way of breaking down walls, easing tension, and bringing people closer. A well-timed joke or a light-hearted observation can brighten a room and leave lasting memories. However, humor, when used carelessly, can just as easily create misunderstandings or hurt feelings. The fine line between uplifting humor and humor that alienates or offends is one worth treading with care. Sarcasm, for instance, can sometimes come across as witty, but it often carries an undercurrent of criticism or mockery that can sting more than it amuses. Similarly, jokes that target someone's personal traits, beliefs, or experiences, no matter how lightly intended, can leave them feeling vulnerable or excluded. While you may not mean any harm, it's important to consider how your words might be received, especially in sensitive moments. The best kind of humor is inclusive and uplifting. It draws people in rather than setting them apart. Sharing a funny personal story, making a playful observation, or even poking gentle fun at yourself are all ways to use humor to build rapport and strengthen bonds. For instance, telling a story about a time you made a silly mistake can not only make others laugh but also make you more relatable and approachable. Perhaps the most powerful use of humor is to lighten a tense situation. A warm, good-natured laugh can diffuse discomfort and remind everyone of the shared humanity in even the most serious moments. For example, if a conversation becomes heated or heavy, a simple, non-divisive joke can serve as a bridge back to understanding. At its heart, humor is a way of saying, "I see you, I share this moment with you, and I want us both to feel joy in it." When used wisely, humor becomes a tool for connection rather than division, for healing rather than harm. So the next time you reach for humor, pause to consider its purpose. Will it lift others up? Will it bring people closer? If the answer is yes, then let the laughter flow. It's one of the greatest gifts you can offer. Improving relationships isn't about fundamentally changing who you are, it's about rediscovering and amplifying the best parts of yourself. It's about allowing your kindness, wisdom, and unique perspective to shine in ways that draw people closer to you. Small intentional adjustments, like softening your tone, opening your body language, and asking thoughtful, engaging questions, can transform not only how others perceive you but also how you experience the world around you. At this stage of life, your relationships hold even greater meaning. They are the threads that weave together your shared memories, joy, and support. Nurturing those bonds doesn't require grand gestures. It's the little moments of attention, curiosity, and understanding that create the deepest connections. As you navigate the beauty and complexity of this time, remember that the most enduring relationships are built on mutual respect, heartfelt curiosity, and genuine kindness. These are qualities you already possess, they only need space to shine. By embracing these changes, you not only strengthen your ties with others but also open the door to a richer, more fulfilling experience of life itself. So take each moment as an opportunity to grow closer to those you care about. Smile a little more, listen a little deeper, and lean into the warmth that makes you uniquely you. With every step, you'll find that your relationships flourish, your world feels brighter, and you become the person others love to have in their lives, a legacy of connection and love that lasts far beyond words. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with your thoughts. If not, feel free to comment with a 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.